Good morning to the Monday morning inspiration for the joy of creation and the magic of art, creativity, and play. So this is our first installment and episode this year, 2019, and cheers to creation. What can we create? What is possible? What ease is possible with our bodies? So today I'm so happy and honored to have with me Hawley Stevens, who is a phenomenal being, an entrepreneur, a phenomenal woman. She is a master herbalist. She has been farming organically for, wow, more than
31 years.
31 years. And she is in Wisconsin, in the Baraboo Bluffs. So our theme today is love yourself. What can flowers and herbs and tinctures contribute to our body and our health, our well-being here on the planet? And what does this all have to do with the joy of creation and with art and creativity? Well, guess what? If your body is not happy, if you are gloomy, is it fun? Like, are you in the mood and in the space of, hey, let's create, let's paint, let's mold, let's weld, let's write, let's do business? Or are you more on the other end of the spectrum, right? So what is possible with flowers and with herbs? Jane, hello.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me today. I love what you're bringing to the world. Thank you so much for encouraging people to bring out their creativity and connect to their inner being that brings so much beauty to the world. So thank you for that.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Yes, you are welcome. Everybody, you are also welcome. It is really like, this is what I came here to create on the planet. It's like inspiring to different possibilities. And Jane, like, how many years ago did we meet? I just want to give this a little, like, I was actually checking out the Garden Expo in Madison, and you are going to be there this February again with a booth. So I walked through the expo looking at, okay, would this be something for my art? And so I saw your booth and I saw the tables beautifully decorated, and I saw all the creams, I saw the lotions, the herbs, the teas that you are making, and all the beautiful product, from sprays that you can like spray around you, or tinctures that you can take. So, and I fell in love with you right there. I fell in love with everything you are actually creating on the planet, and you are creating also on your land, and your this deep, very loving desire to contribute to people and their bodies and to the earth. So what would you like what brought you there actually? What is it? You have been like practicing this for so long. So tell us about what got you on that journey.
Well, I just feel like I was really put here to connect people to plants and nature for their health and the health of the planet. And feels like now more than ever, it's very important for me to keep this mission going of connecting people to plants for their health and the health of the planet. But what, like, just, I could answer this in so many ways, but even what got me started was my grandmother, when she took me out in the woods to pick blueberries, I felt like that was my best memory. And I also feel like I was meant to pick things, grow things and pick things. And so when I picked a career, I just wanted to be out, knew I wanted to be outside. And just by that desire of following my heart, knowing that I wanted to be out in nature, drove me then to learning about horticulture. I went to school at UW-Madison. And then after that, one of my first lucky breaks was my boss asked me to put in a herb garden. And so I started with my first herb garden about 1981 or 82, somewhere in there. and then just started growing herbs and then cooking with them and then crafts. And then when my son was born in '87, started making herbal remedies because then I had a little family. And I saw how effective plants were for healing, more so than my friends who were taking their kids to the doctors. Plants were working just so quickly, so they give so much, and it come in beautiful packages like the fuzzy leaves of mullein and the beautiful smells of lemon balm. And, there's no plastic to throw away and you don't have to drive anywhere. And it was just I just was in so much awe, really, of starting to learn about plants and their healing. It's really become my passion and my path. And as in a big world such as plant world, the more you learn, the more you don't know. So it's going to be a lifelong pursuit of learning and then sharing this beautiful knowledge with others. But I think now more than ever, it's really important to connect people back to nature, just to be inspired, to have, there's a lot I want to talk about that, just about connecting people back to nature as a source of health and a source of empowerment to themselves.
Wow, I totally love this. Like, and all of you guys who are here with us live now, you can just know you can chime in and ask questions. You might be muted right now, and to unmute you, you can press *6 or *7, one of those, or your mute button on the phone. If you have any questions, please feel free and chime in. And also for all of you who are going to watch this in the future, hello there. I'm so glad. We are both so glad you are here. I will share, we will share at the end of this video, and you will find this underneath the video in the description, where you can find Jane and her product and read more about it. Jane is actually traveling internationally to speak at conferences and contribute her knowing to people all over, like wherever she can go. And we will talk about this later also, where she's going to be next. So Jane, the love, the connection with the planet and the contribution, and also when you were talking about you going out in nature and picking blueberries, like what, there is an energy of, like, when you talk about connecting people in this world, we are sort of so disconnected from nature and disconnected from the earth, where I'm always wondering what can our bodies receive from the planet and from the earth, and what can we contribute to it also by seeing it. When you talk about what is there and this learning, which we could also say the receiving and gifting that never stops. Would you like to say more about this, the inspiration, and what do you know? What do you know about the joy of creation?
Well, I used to think it was all about just the plants, but now, having been in this so long, it's really all of nature that's here to support us on our path of well-being. And, it's so easy to just not pay attention. I found so much inspiration last week just noticing the sunset and the sunrise. I mean, if you can take a little bit of time and notice the colors that come out of that, you can really make a shift. Like, for example, the color violet connects you to your crown chakra, and you can really open up to inspiration and vision. And I really think we're lacking so much of that in our culture too. We just really need to know that we are visionaries, and to put ourselves in situations where we can be inspired, and nature is so giving in that way. So, as simple as, well, I've got this beautiful African violet, and with right here, and the color, if we can see it, it's got some violet color. But anyway, just to have some plants around you that you can connect with, or looking at the sunset or going for a walk, whatever you can do that you could take a little time that you can open up your heart or your soul to connect. It's so important that we connect to the visionary part of us. There's so much that can happen there. It just moves your consciousness forward. And by being open to different visions, you can organize your life better. Like, what if you were inspired, like, oh, my teas, I serve my community, but what if more people can be healed from my garden? What if I have help that comes and helps me create a bigger garden that can help more people? And then suddenly you find yourself moving forward and creating more beauty in the earth. And when you're like that, it's almost like a magnet, like the universe responds to that. And you can just notice and ask questions like, you've taught me a lot about this, is what is possible? And you'll just find the magic in life that way. You just have to open up. You have to engage and be part of that in order to make it happen.
I love that, what you say, to engage. Now, when you were holding up this African violet, like, I'm just wondering, could like you talk about, you touch a lot of things here. There is like having one little plant at home and taking care of it. That's one thing. And then there's the texture of it. Like, what if you touch the leaves and you just gently touch the flower, and it's like, wow, what is this actually? Is this velvety? Is this like smooth? Is it thorny? Is it rough? Is it what is this? Hey plant, hello there. Or an herb. I find myself actually taking more and more plants in from the garden for the winter. It's like, oh my God, you guys are so pretty. Like salvias that would not make it through our winter here in Wisconsin. I take them in. Now you should see my house. There's like,
I love it.
And then
it's so cute.
And they make it through the winter. It is like that I love when you talk about engaging with nature. Now, do you have any questions for Jane?
I might have a silly question. Well, kind of a fun question. We hear about, talking with the animals. Is it something to talk with plants? I mean, engaging, about engaging, but is that something that
yes,
that can be done?
Absolutely. In fact, there's a class that I created it's going to be the second time I teach it at the Midwest Women's Herbal Conference, which is up in near Almond, Wisconsin, in May 31st to June 2nd. But that's what we do. There's a theory called Doctrine of Signatures, and it's where you go out in nature and you, like Bettina was saying, you just look at plants closely. You can touch them. You can nibble on a little bit.
Yes, that is a great question, Renee, that you were just asking. Yes, can we connect with the plants? Can we talk with them? What do you know about it? Is there a lightness for you? And how much have you been talking with plants and flowers, trees?
Yes, I've enjoyed talking with my plants in the garden, and just as if they're friends. And I don't know if it makes a difference in their growing or their productivity, but I feel better.
Oh, yes.
I feel grateful to them.
Yes, and this is also where your body is giving you this information. When you say you feel better, is your body also happier? What does your bodies know about interacting and engaging? This is engaging with nature and engaging with flowers and plants. And what do you know about it? What does your body know about it? Anything that makes you happier is actually true for you. So there is, if you look online, Findhorn is a beautiful place in the UK. it is all about that. They talk with plants and they manage to, like, plants grow huge leaves. They are like, plants respond to that interaction, that we are with them. Like also, could you acknowledge that with yourself, that, wow, can I really do that? Is it possible? Like, if you have a house plant that is not doing so well, what if you just start interacting, engaging with it, like, what's going on? Like, okay, what can I contribute to you? And you start, like, touching it, like, like, just with whatever, the touch, or sending it energy, or just talking with it, interacting with it. And what question can you ask? Like with my orchids, what I always say is, hey guys, keep creating. Joy of creation. And I hope Jane will join us again soon. So yeah, what is possible for her to come back on with ease and be with us? And so do you guys have any other questions right now? What do you all know about plants and herbs?
I feel like myself, I would call myself a black thumb with indoor plants, but
what do you mean by that? A black thumb?
Because I tend to kill them. It's not funny, but I don't have that green thumb, and maybe it's because I'm not connecting with the plant and listening to it, and it may be screaming at me, I need water, I need this, and I'm just not. I overwater it or I underwater it, and so yeah, with the outside plants I'm good, but not the indoor ones.
Yeah, so I wonder, what question can you ask them?
Yeah.
What question can you
ask? Hi, I'm back.
Them? Oh, there you are. Good.
So, yeah, my internet just crashed, so I just called in on the phone.
Yeah, that's what I thought, that you were just, like, your internet was gone. So we were just talking about, Renee said she has a black thumb with indoor plants. Outdoor plants good, indoor plants don't seem to do so well. And so we were just talking about what questions she can ask and how she can engage with a plant by asking it, hey, what do you need? How much water? And when do I water you? And so we were just talking about that. And Jane, when you dropped off, you were talking about that you are going to be at a conference and you are going to facilitate a workshop there also. So
yeah, that was about the doctrine of signatures. Yeah, at the Midwest Herbal Conference. Mm-hmm. So I don't know how much you heard of that or when I got dropped, but anyway, did you hear about the doctrine of signatures? Did you hear that part?
Well, did you say anything more about that? So we did not hear it. So I think you were gone then.
Okay. Well, thank you for bringing me back up to speed. So anyway, this is the question we were talking about when I got dropped was, is it possible to be able to tune into what plants have to offer? And your caller is apparently really good with animals and is able to understand animals. And I love that question because it just shows how some people are more tuned in to one thing or another, which it just shows our gifts. It's very beautiful. But I was talking about this class where I can take people out in nature and show them plants that they don't know. And just by doing a little guided meditation and observing different aspects of the plants, like you were saying, what does the bark look like? What shape are the leaves? And looking for little clues like that, you can find out so much about what a plant does. We actually, like with this class, you would not believe how much accurate information came from people who did not know these plants. It was like we opened a textbook and they were saying everything it does. It's just an amazing phenomena, this doctrine of signatures, and just how observing the plant can tell you different things. But just on a more practical note, not that that isn't practical, but yeah, that's actually very practical. But with house plants, I think a big tendency for people to overwater them in the winter because, you know, that's a form of nurturing, watering the plant. But because we have so little sun in Wisconsin in the winter, our days are short and we have so many cloudy days that the plant doesn't really grow much. It's nice to just kind of keep it alive. So just know that with that lessened growth, that it won't need very much water. And I think that's the number one, like, way to make houseplants suffer in the winter time. Also, it just, we don't have much light. It is a trick to have success with houseplants. So if you make choices of plants that like low light, like if you ever been in the jungle, you would see almost all of our houseplants that are common indoor plants are from the flora of the jungle where there's not much light. So by choosing philodendrons or well, like spathiphyllums, the peace lily, those plants that like, you know, darker places, ivies, that you'll probably have better success.
That's beautiful.
Great. You know, and too, and I wonder, I tend to get depressed as a person, not a plant, in the winter, and I've been starting to use a light, and I'm wondering if that light can be shined on the plant.
Yeah, definitely. So the plant picks up, responds to different light spectrums, and I don't know if it's like a yellow light. I'm not sure what the spectrum of that is, but the plant responds to all different spectrums of light within light. So yeah, I'm sure that sounds like you could almost like have your friend with you, your plant, when you're you know, doing your sun or your light treatment. Sounds
Wow.
sounds nice.
And then thank you for that question, Renee. There's something else that I wanted to address with you as we go along here. And I was also just looking at the time. So for these winter months where we have a lot less light and we are more indoors than outdoors, is there any plant, herb companion, flower companion that you would recommend to use that can brighten up our days? And if it is just the inner sun.
That's really beautiful. Well, there's two things that I would do, or there's actually now I think I'm thinking of three different ways to approach that. One is just to get a flowering houseplant like African violet, because those bloom even in the winter. I'm certified organic, but plants really do need some fertilizer in the winter, and in order to make them, you know, feel healthy. So you can use fish emulsion or some organic fertilizers. So, you know, you could include some plants. Really, cut flowers are a great way to go. In European cultures, if you go to the farmer's market, maybe, Bettina, you could speak to this, people will come home with an armload of vegetables and an armload of flowers.
Yes.
We have food for the body and food for the soul. And I find roses to be one of the highest vibration of flowers. And even just a single rose brought into your house, I think, could really shift some energy. And then, of course, you could do herbal teas. That's what I do. And then lemon balm is my favorite herb. Lemon balm increases joy and lifts the spirit. In fact, in the old days, it was called the gladdening herb. So it would really help to bring in joy and ease the heart. So I recommend lemon balm tea. I've got a beautiful blend called Triple Lemon, which has lemon balm, lemongrass, lemon verbena, and oats, which are collected in the milky stage, which gives them really good, they're great for like healing, can't say that. The FDA might find me saying healing.
Well,
So anyway,
contributing to the body for
yes. Yeah, to help to support a healthy nervous system. I can say that. Helps to support a healthy nervous system. The oats collected in the milky states are really good for that. And then the other thing are flower essences, which Bettina named this program after flower essences. And I think that is such a great way to shift the energy. And I don't know, do we have time for me to talk a couple minutes on the history of flower essences, Bettina?
Oh, please go ahead. Yes. Yes, I love it.
Oh, yeah, they're so subtle and sweet, and they're designed to work with our emotional bodies. So the story is fascinating. Probably most of you have heard of Bach flower remedies. And in the early 1900s, there was a street in London that all the best doctors practiced on. And Dr. Bach noticed that people who were suffering the same type of ailments had the same type of, I'm going to call it, personalities. And that they weren't really getting healed by addressing the what showed up as the symptom. So he felt like there was a deeper situation going on here. And these are my words completely, but to me, he went out in a vision quest. He went out in nature to try to figure out how to help heal people, maybe on the emotional level, so that their underlying symptoms could shift for their betterment. So he invented these flower essences, and he found by taking flowers and floating them in water in the sunshine that the sun imprints the vibration of the flower into the water and leaves a message there for individuals to, you can take that internally in little droppers like you would a tincture. But I've had such great luck with flower essences. So he came up with like 32 flower essences from that region of the world, England and Europe. And since then, it's so beautiful. Cultures all over the world have developed their own regional flower essences, like there's an Alaskan, an Australian, and on, Southwest. But so I made flower essences here for the Midwest, and I haven't really been promoting them for a long time, but anyway, I still have them if you're interested. But I was thinking before this class today, I wanted to look up what flowers help to open up positive visions for people, like just moments of inspiration and openness. So I came up with 4 different flowers that help if you're looking for inspiration and vision. Queen Anne's lace is one. And we all know that is in the Midwest. It's very common in late summer, or really in the summer. And it actually is a carrot. It's a wild carrot. So if you smell it, you'll smell carrot in there. But that really helps for creating positive visions, so you're really inspired and get moving. Buttercup helps you to see the value of our gifts and abilities to help you understand what you can contribute. And then the Shasta daisy helps you to see a big picture and how we fit in. And if you look at a daisy, you'll see the yellow center, which is called the disc flower, and all the white petals are called ray flowers. And the message there is that all of the little contributions from the little white petals really help to make the center shine. And that's kind of how I interpret this flower essence. You see the big picture, and then how do we fit in and be our part of that beautiful daisy. And then the blackberry helps us for making breakthroughs, blackberry flower essence. So if you're feeling stuck, think of the vigor of a blackberry, how even just the tip can, touch the soil and start a new plant, and how they really grab your attention with their thorns, but create these beautiful fruits. So those are just a few of the flower essence that you could use to help bring inspiration in your winter days, these dark, dreary, wet winter days with not enough snow for me.
You know, Jane, what I just loved is how you talk about thorns. You didn't say, oh, they hurt you, but you say they grab your attention. I just love the way you see things, and you also you receive flowers and herbs, like not from the point of view, oh, that's bad or watch out. Like, no. What is trying to get my attention? Which the rose also has thorns. So
yeah.
wow, it's and so Jane, a question: where would people find, if any of them would like to have these essence, the flower essences that you were just talking about, the four, the Queen Anne's Lace, Buttercup, Shasta Daisy, and Blackberry? Where would they find those? Do you have?
Well, yes, I have them, and they're not on my website right now, but if they just called, we can supply them. We do have those in stock right now.
So can these four also be mixed together into an like inspiration blend?
Yes, I love that idea. We can certainly do that.
Wow. Like, you know, for vision, like how much vision would it be really good to have right now in these days, right? If we could open like the breakthrough you were talking about with Blackberry, if we all could break through the walls and limitations and our points of view to find that golden center that is there, that the daisy is showing us, right? So where do people find you, Jane?
Well, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. I just got back on the computer.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So anyway, you can just call my office, which is 608-522-4492. And that's where you can find, we could mix up the blend of these essences.
And where's your store?
So we're in North Freedom, Wisconsin. It's a very small village just west of Baraboo. About, if you went down the road west, leaving from Baraboo 33, from Highway 33 from Portage, and go straight up that way, it would be less than 10 minutes, but maybe close to 10 minutes.
Wow. And then also, Jane, could you give us your website?
Yeah, so the website is www.4elementsherbals.com.
4-Element Herbals. And
4 Elements Herbals. So there's
yes.
4 Elements has an S and Herbals has an S.
Is any of your product available also in any, I know you are at
Willie Street Community Pharmacy, all the Woodman stores carry some of my products. And so most co-ops in the region carry them. They're all over the Twin Cities and beyond. So they are in stores, and you can mail order them, you could call in, or you could stop in North Freedom.
Wow, I just know what I've been using for many years now is the rose cream. I use it for my face in the winter especially. And then also this beautiful lemon balm cream for your face, which is just amazing. And I love them so much. So, wow, really what else is possible? And, you know, what I learned from the Tall Trees, it's a beautiful Native American couple, their name is the Tall Trees, and what they are teaching is that the well-being or the source for contribution to your body is in your backyard. So and what is available for us here in the Midwest, in Wisconsin, and you are so close. Like, how did we all get so lucky to have you here? And so where are you going to be next? So you mentioned, I know you are going to be at the Garden Expo in Madison. This is in February.
Yes. So I'm going to be, well, tomorrow I teach the Madison beekeepers. And then on the weekend, I go to Appleton to just teach about gardening by the moon signs and the energy that comes with the planets. And then, but the bigger one is the Garden Expo in Madison. I think that is February 8th to 10th. And that is going to be a beautiful talk. It's about garden design to create a healing sanctuary. And then I'll be teaching at the Midwest Women's Herbal Conference the first weekend of June. And that will be in Almond, Wisconsin. That's a really good conference for people who are interested in herbs, but it is a women-only event. Well, then I'm going to have classes, but I didn't pick out the date. So I want to do a series called Make It, where we could make tinctures and teas, and there's something called switchels and shrubs, which are like honey vinegar drinks with herbs. And so I'm going to do a series of classes at the farm this summer. And last year I also did a weekend intensive of growing medicinal herbs. And I'd really like to add one that's more like in line with what we're talking about now, of just being in nature, connecting, and about taking time to connect for the well-being of the person and the planet.
Wow. So then people will find this information also on your website?
Yes, I made my schedule for the year, and we're going to update that on the website this week. But I don't know the dates that I'm going to contribute these other classes yet.
Yes. Beautiful. And so if anybody is interested in this beautiful four flower essence, they can call the store and just say the 4 flower essence.
Yeah, just say Jane was on this show this morning, and she said you have this essence.
Good.
She said she'd pull it together for me.
And then you
the person answers, right? I'll call her up, because beautiful Rhea, who's answering the phone, won't know. She's pretty new and she won't know about this. But so I'll call her and tell her so she knows right away.
We just created something here. Isn't that amazing? On the joy of creation.
That's great.
And so you ship, right?
Yes.
Cool. Well, beautiful. So for anybody here, this information, I will put this all also under the video. You will find it in the Monday Morning Inspiration. You can sign up. If you are not subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, go ahead and do that.
Well, there's one more thing I'd like to say, Bettina.
Yes, please.
So I always end my talks now with I'm really inspired by the book Braiding Sweetgrass by Robin Wall Kimmerer. I hope if you haven't read that, I really encourage everyone to read it. But it really instills in you that spirit of gratitude that nature just gives us so much. Like, I was thinking about this yesterday and what I would be saying on this program. And, I don't go in a Walmart store, but there are those all over the country, and they're all full of stuff. And where does everything come from? It comes from the earth. And the earth just keeps giving and giving. And I don't understand even how it can keep giving so much. And how about having a point of view that we're feeling humble, that, wow, we get like a cup of coffee. It came from across the equator to come into my cup in my kitchen this morning, or just the spirit of nature gives us so much. We are so fortunate to be able to receive all this. And so in that spirit, to give something back by doing a little volunteer work or offering kindness and just doing some action to be grateful for all that nature gives us.
Wow. Yeah. And, I love that. And if it is just acknowledging nature also, and touching a tree and saying, thank you so much for creating all this oxygen, for storing all the carbon monoxide and creating oxygen. Thank you so much. If we freely train that muscle and we build it, the gratitude, Jane, that you were talking about, what will that create? What can blossom out of that? What can grow out of it by our awareness of the planet and what it gifts, and what gift will our gratitude be to the planet? Wow. This was so amazing. Jane, I don't want to keep you longer here and everybody else. Like, if you have any last minute questions, please ask them now. Otherwise, I would say thank you so much, Jane. This was really inspiring. And guys, check out her classes. I went to Jane's classes. I'm going to be there this year, Jane. Good that I found this out now. And the classes are really beautiful, especially also on the farm, which with the energy and everything. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here, for listening, for asking questions, and also for your choice of choosing this to be here and check it out. And what else can you learn and grow in your life? Thank you so much, and keep creating. La 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 la